I want to show you my plants on my balcony. It's a closed balcony. Mainly I'm going to talk about Sceletium Tortuosum. It's this plant here, which is a succulent native to South Africa, and which from centuries ago to present day has been used traditionally. The plant suppresses the appetite and is a mood stabilizer. It's a beautiful being. So consider adopting this pet, because it does make a beautiful house plant. Okay, never mind these pots, those are recycled bottles. These plants are 1 year old. They are in different areas because I want to experiment with the humid conditions, different humid conditions and light access, and this just gives me more experience and sensitivity, so I can know what they really like. To get a Sceletium Tortuosum plant, the best thing is not to procure cuttings. It's not very feasible. If you buy a cutting online, it will dry out in the transport. So the best thing to do is a plant with roots in a pot will be ideal, but this is difficult to find in local gardens and shops. The ideal is to get seeds, although they are difficult to germinate. Here is a seedling of a seed batch from 2 years ago, and I was lucky because one sprouted, and this seedling has maybe 2 months, is 2 months old. So when Skelletium does germinate, the seedlings are quite fragile for the first 2 to 3 months. It takes some luck for them to reach half a year of age, but once they are established plants, they become very easy to care for. Some of my plants were from seeds, and maybe half a year later I made cuttings. So some of these plants are already clones. The Sceletium Tortuosum plants in the northern hemisphere, they begin to hibernate in spring, and that lasts until the end of summer. The stem and branches that are close to the ground may even lose their green color. They cease to be a succulent stem and appear more woody. The name Skelletium means skeleton, because it forms brown stems with a dry appearance, and some of its fleshy leaves are also dry out, leaving only a membrane with visible vascular channels. However, when in autumn and winter, these are the seasons when growth is most vigorous, easily reaching 5 times to 10 times the summer size and volume. Its habit is also somewhat interesting. In areas with indirect light, the plants tend to keep its leaves more separated and has longer branches, becoming less compact, and it behaves almost like that of a small vine. With direct light, the plant becomes more compact, the branches are shorter and the leaves are closer together. If the leaves are receiving too much light, they even change color. The tips turn a reddish pink color. This doesn't damage the plant. On the contrary, besides getting more robust, the difference in color has an ornamental value. If you have a Skelletium plant and you have it in a place at home with little or no direct light, then you already know that the branches will elongate. This is desirable to get cuttings to propagate. But notice that the long branches prefer to stay on top of gravel, or else hanging and suspended outside the pot, so that the leaves do not touch the ground, because if they touch wet soil, it's more likely to rot. Now I'm going to make some cuts. The best thing to do is to leave at least 2 pairs of fleshy leaves. This increases the probability of them being able to produce enough energy to create their roots. After cutting them, I will leave them outside for about 6 hours in a dry and airy place, not too hot. This way you can heal the cutting area just enough and prevent it from rotting when you put the cutting in the ground. A good strategy for any new species of plant that I acquire for my garden is to plant in several pots that are located in different places. What has to be taken into account is that it is possible to lose some seedlings because of experimentation. I'm going to put cuttings at the bottom of the shelf, where it's always cooler and more humid, but also up here where it's more sunny and dry. As I've done this experiment before, I know how the plants will behave. Up here they will be more compact and down here more elongated. Both forms have their advantages and disadvantages. So I hope you enjoyed this video and that it sparks your interest in creating a small garden, be it urban based in a balcony or in the countryside in a slice of land. Gardening is a great way to entertain ourselves and it feeds our soul. Like this video and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Bye.